Okay, we're live. Let's do this. If you're watching on YouTube, scrub forward until you see something start happening. We'll wait for a few fibs to come over and play with us. Getting it up on my other computer, so if you're sitting in chat, just give me a second. Come on. Let's do this. Hit the thumbs up when you're coming in. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Suzanne. Getting a pop-out chat. Make sure you're on live chat so you see all the chat. I usually don't think my chats are so active that you're going to miss anything, but you never know. Hi, Joan. So, appreciate you guys coming. We'll just give people a few minutes here. I hate that glare, but I don't know what to do about it, so yeah, we're just going to go with it. And because I'm so discombobulated today, that's a good word for what today is. Yeah, I'm going to Zentangle one of my cards. Hi, Nancy. Excuse me. I just took my allergy medicine, so it might take a minute or two to kick in. I hate doing that stuff, but I don't have a choice. Unless you guys want to sit here and listen to me snuffing for an hour. Alright, come on, quit being so difficult. There we go. Alright. If you guys were here last week, I made the ATC card holder, and I just finished mine this morning. Put the guts in it. Hi, Alexandra. Hey, Mindy. I think I've said hi to everybody. Going back up. So, hope you guys had a good weekend. Mine was pretty good. Yeah, mine was, yeah. Suzanne, I didn't get allergies until way later in life. I don't remember them being this bad. And this time of year is especially bad. And I know I whine about it all the time. But I know it's annoying for you guys if I sit here and sniff for 3 hours. So, hey, Dee Dee. But yeah, this time of year, ugh. And I really think you get allergies as you get older, because I didn't have them as a young person, except like bee sting. I knew I was allergic to that. But now I'm finding more stuff. Milk. And I've been doing a lot better about milk, Dee Dee. Only 1 day a week do I get any kind of milk. And I still haven't done the almond milk, because I just can't remember. You went to your son's and gave birthday present. Well, that's good, Suzanne. I'm glad to see families start getting back together. I really am. Since March, one of my kids came, and then last week, you guys knew, Robert's daughter came, and that was really a fun visit. And we got to go out to eat. Yes, Dee Dee. Hi, Terry. Yeah, we went out to eat, went in a restaurant, and so yeah, it's just good. I like to see people getting together, you know, families especially. So yeah, it's time. Hi, Kim. So yeah, last week I did the ATC matchbook cover giveaway. Oh, darn it, I was going to paint this black before I did that. Oh, well. I was just eager to get it done to show today, and it's probably still not completely dry, the glue on the bottom. But if you want to make, if you're going to participate in the ATC swap, which, okay, here's the rules, and I'll give them several times. You have to make 6 ATC cards, 2.5 by 3.5. These are 2 that I've done for giveaway. I'll take them out of here so you guys don't see the glare. Send in 6, 2.5 by 3.5, and you'll get 5 back, because I'm going to keep one. And they have to be to me by June 1st. Check your settings and make sure that you're on 720. I don't have 1080 because I don't pay for it, but the picture on mine is pretty good, so I hope it is on yours. You didn't finish what you were going to ask? That's okay. If you think of something else, just go ahead and type it in. And I'll go ahead and put my email address in case you need my mailing address. If you have it, just send it in. I don't necessarily need to know how many people are participating. But they have to be to me by June 1st. And then I will swap them out on, you know, the first day I can after June 1st. And get them back out to you. Do include a self-addressed stamped envelope. If you don't include a self-addressed stamped envelope, I'm not sure what I'll do. Hi, Barbara. Still diamond painting and love it. Did you get my email? If not, I will send it again. Well, I haven't checked my email probably since Saturday, but I'm pretty sure I checked it. Let me just check real quick. And I'll see. I thought I had everybody, but anybody who wrote to me, I wrote back. So, nope, I got it. Alexandra. Yep, I got it. I just haven't read it yet. But I will write you back and make sure that you have my mailing address. But it's sitting there waiting for me. So you don't have to send it again. So, anyway, let me show you a couple things before I start drawing. I got from Teresa Church, was kind enough to send me a whole bunch of die cut postage and bugs and stuff like that. So thank you, Teresa. I have a die cutting machine. I haven't used it in forever, but look at that. Die cuts are kind of amazing things. So anyway, yeah. She sent me a little envelope with a bunch of stuff in it. So this is fun. I'll play with it. You know something I think would be really fun is Zentangle postage. Let's do this. I'll take one of the red ones so we can see. That's probably right in there. It'd be the best one. How cool is that? So thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you thinking of me and sending me all this cool little stuff. Look at the butterfly. I'll probably spray this, you know, the white ones. I'll spray them with spray inks. I haven't had my spray inks out in forever. I need to get them out and play with them. Too much stuff, so little time. But thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you sending me this cool stuff to play with. I'll keep that right here. Hey, Lena. I wrote you back, by the way, but it was right before my stream, so it was pretty short. Speaking of Lena, she put out another edition of her story, and it's so good. You have to go watch it. And I like your second journal, and because of you, I don't think I've shown this to anybody, but because of you, I went ahead and ordered. Let me move the camera out real quick. I did go ahead and order this. I have one, but I went ahead and ordered this second one because I needed another journal, right? Yeah, time is always the problem. Time. So yeah, that's because of Lena. I went to the paper blank page on Amazon and ordered another journal, because you can never have too many journals or too many watercolors, because she showed another watercolor set that I don't have. So yeah. And then every month I get an awesome letter from Teresa Peterman and a card, a homemade card that she doesn't sign the inside, so you can use it yourself. This one is so pretty. Every day is a new day. Some days that's hard to remember. And then wrote a really nice letter and then put some cutouts in it for me. So Teresa, as always, thank you so much. Thanks for thinking of me. I keep you and Blue in my prayers all the time. So yeah, I appreciate it. So someday somebody might receive this card from me. Every day is a new day, and she's got die cuts on it. It's several layers, you know, like there's the pattern paper in the back, the die cuts, the little quote is lifted up off the paper. It's just everything about it. She stamped the paper in the background. Her work is just amazingly beautiful and so well done. I mean, like, it's all centered, it's straight. For me, that's just like delicious. So are we allowed to ask questions about the vaccines? I'm just wondering if they're helping to combat the virus. Well, Suzanne, I guess what I would say about that is you're going to probably have to go on the internet and read, because depending on your news source, I think we're getting a whole bunch of different answers. The numbers are going down, so I'm assuming that the virus may be playing a part in that. But yeah, you can always ask a question here. I don't really care. I don't necessarily want to get into a conversation about the virus. I think it's impacted all of our lives a great deal. But I'm at the point where I'm ready to say, you know what, we've got to go back to some semblance of a normal life and just get on with life. It's time. We've done this for a year now. Numbers are coming down. And don't ever forget, one thing, if I was mad at the media for anything at all, is for scaring people. The truth of the matter is the survival rate is incredibly, incredibly high. If you have certain comorbidities, you're in danger. So I think you need to take care of yourself. And I don't think we can come up with a rule that one size fits all, because it doesn't. So we tried that. I'm not sure that it worked well, but it's time for people to go back to work and back to living their lives and being with their families and doing the things we need to do. So if that's an unpopular opinion, I'm sorry, but it is mine. So let's get on with drawing. And I think your choice of whether or not you get the vaccine is entirely up to you. It's everybody's choice. And I don't think, oh, I can't have that on. Sorry. I want to turn on my desk lamp, but yeah. All right, so one of the things I've decided to do with my Zentangle swap cards, just because I've seen it and I thought it was so cool, is I'm drawing 2 circles on my cards at the beginning. Oh, come on. I hope that's focusing for you guys. But I'm drawing like a little magnifying glass, and in 2 sections of the cards, I'm enlarging the background design. So like this one, it's real tiny in the background, but then in the magnifying part, I drew it big. Same thing with like the candy cane stripe. So that's what I've been doing, just because I think it's cool looking. You have 3 of your Zentangle. Good job, Barbara Clark. My town where I live is back on red zone. That's going high. I just want things to go back to normal. I think we all do, Alexandra. Yeah, and that's another thing, is YouTube doesn't like you talking about it, so. Oh, with the magnifying, Barbara? Go ahead. Yeah, use the ideas. You know, I don't own these ideas. I just make them up as I go along. And what I've been doing on mine, if you have followed the Zentangle people, Maria and whatever his name is, I can't remember, Robert. Anyway, the one thing they suggest, you know, to get over that white page syndrome, is to draw, like, they call it a string, I think. Yeah. Where you just randomly break up the space on your card. And I've been doing that. So then I have some spaces to work with, and I don't have to think about too much of anything beyond that other than picking a design and drawing it. And another thing I've incorporated in each of mine is somewhere in here I have that candy cane stripe that goes throughout the whole thing that breaks it up. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do that first. That's just, to me, seems like the most reasonable place to start. So it looks a mess going in, but it helps me. So we'll start with that. And then I don't particularly like erasing after I've drawn because I'm always scared to death I'm going to smudge. But if you're using Micron and I pulled out the plastic nib Micron, and then the finer lines I'm doing with the Copic multiliner, and I've talked about these a lot. The cool thing about these is you can get new nibs and ink refills for these. So you don't have to buy the pen over and over again. And I like that idea. You know, I've thought of that too, Alexandra, using black paper to draw the Zentangles. If there was such a thing as a real dependable white pen, I think that would be way fun. But as a rule, I've not found a white pen that, to me, works really good. My favorite is the Uniball Signo, but it has to have this yellow, I think that's Japanese, on it. These, in my opinion, are the best white pens, or the Jelly Rolls. So that's why I have both of them out here. But the consistency of white pens to get consistent lines, and I've just not found anything, yeah, that really works well. They look nice. I bought those that you are showing. I get from oh, cool. Yeah, these pens, I have to say I'm tickled to death. I bought the 01, the 0.1. I'm sure that's the one I bought. I bought it separately just to give it a try. Yeah, that's the one. And boy, I crushed that nib in short order. So the nice thing is you can just slap in a new nib and try again next time, right? All right, let me straighten up. So yeah, I'm just going to be Zentangling because this morning was crazy. I woke up really late. Well, I woke up early and decided to lay in bed for a little while, which is not uncommon. And I fell back asleep. Like, I was so late to Dee Dee's, and then I lost my glasses. So I spent 30 minutes looking for glasses, and I thought, oh man, this is going to be a long day. But I'm snapping out of it. So I'm going to do the candy cane one first. And the thing about drawing, just draw it bigger in that magnifying area. All right, we're good to go. But last week having Jackie here was really fun. We hadn't seen her in way over a year. She lives on the Outer Banks and opened a bakery. She worked for Sam's Club for her entire career. And then she retired and opened a bakery on the Outer Banks. And it's doing way better than they ever imagined. So that's cool. I'm happy for her and her partner. And what's funny is Jackie is not a baker. Her partner is, but she's like the money end and customer service, but they're doing well, so that's awesome. Even with all the crap that's gone on this last year. Yeah, Barbara, I actually bought one of those sets. I don't mind the jelly roll. Yeah. The thing is, you've got to use them frequently. If they sit, they turn to crap. In my humble opinion. I kind of wanted to watercolor today, but I didn't want to get out the mess. Oh, I got to draw the little handle of the magnifying glass too. See how I did the bigger design? Alright, here I'll put the handle for the magnifying. Hi Dorothy, hi Donna, anybody I've missed coming in? I don't think I've missed anybody. That Shia cool design. Shia cool. Alright, now we're good to move. But as you're working on these, the Micron pen and the Copic multiliner, even though if you have to go back and erase some lines or something, pencil lines, they shouldn't smear. But it does change the density of the ink or something, so that's why I don't like to erase after I've drawn the design. If you guys want to holler out designs that you want me to draw, do that, and I'll go ahead and try and incorporate them in this card. An ATC is kind of funny because it is pretty small. To fit a bunch on, you know. But if you have one that you want to see me draw, whew, man, I need to take some English lessons. Put them in chat and I'll look them up and see if I can't draw them for you. And what are we at? The 19th? Yeah, I don't have to do any more designs, lists, or prompts for a while. Typo and autocorrect. That is a cool design. Okay, thanks, Dee Dee. I was late to Dee Dee's this morning. I hate being late anywhere. I'm a person who likes to be on time. So, yeah, that gets your day started really crazy. But if that's the worst thing that happens to me all day, I'm still going to be darn grateful. And you'll be able to tell that I'm a little bit anal. Don't be laughing in chat. I haven't had my watercolors out in a couple of weeks, other than here and there in the Beast, you know. But yeah, to actually use them, I haven't done a picture in forever. I have a couple of drawings, Kathy Arbor drawings, that I have stacked up. But with company and everything, it's just been too crazy to get things actually done. Okay, there we go. And I, as a rule, now I'm going to have to erase after I said I hate doing it. I shade and highlight as I go, because after you're done, in my opinion, it's hard to go back. But this is, for me, it's a good place to just get started. Yeah. And then I have my fallback designs that I always, you aren't using a ruler. Didi, look at the straight edges. I already used a ruler. Do you know the English language actually started in Germany first? I did not know that, Suzanne. Now, my husband would have known that because he loved reading about languages, where languages came from, how they migrated, how people migrated. He was just all about that. So I'm surprised. He probably maybe told me that at one time. And I may have forgotten. But he loved migration of people. And actually, it's a really interesting area of study. Yeah, I like that magnifying look. It's crazy, but yeah. I need to go to painting or using watercolor. Yeah, well, I'm excited to get these Zentangles done so I can move on to something else. Okay, I did get a question about pencils. This is just an HB, which is the equivalent of about a number 2 for shading. If I want a darker shade, I go to a B. And when you're looking at pencils, H, just think of H as hard lead, and I always think of B as like black or bold. It's just softer lead, and it will smear a little better. But the HB for these small designs works pretty good. And hopefully you guys will be able to see this. I'll hold it up. I missed Zandra's stream yesterday. That made me mad. And that was just because I forgot. Hi, Jacqueline. This tangle should be called the Sherlock tangle. Why Sherlock? Oh, because of the magnifying. It should be, Dee Dee. And I'm sure most of you, especially if you Zentangle, know what a tortillon is or a paper stump. They make your life a lot easier. Just use them to smear out the graphite. Okay, can you see the shading and the highlights? Don't forget the other handle. Yeah, I'll get it here in a minute. I'll decide which way I want it to go. Probably coming down this way. I don't mind them going off the page because they don't take up that much room that way. But yeah, we'll do it right now. That's a little wonky, but when it gets in the midst of the card, yeah, you'll never see it. Draw some little highlights on it. All right. Let's see, what other design do I really love? Nobody's put anything in chat, so we're just gonna go with whatever. One design that I always really like, and I'll use I'm gonna use the 03. You know what? I should have looked these designs up. I think this one is called Dragonair. That I think is Candy Stripe. I really do. This one is called Dragonair. And it's actually kind of a border pattern, but along this candy cane. I think it looks way cool. And I'm trying not to draw these really small. Trying to keep my hand where you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. And I don't go into these with a preconceived idea of what designs I'm going to draw. Just whatever pops in my head. And if I can't think of something, I'll look it up. Hey, Julie. Are you going to join in the swap, Julie? For those of you that came in late and maybe don't know, I am doing an ATC swap. Zentangle cards, and that's what I'm working on. Cards for the swap. Doesn't matter if they're black and white, colored. I just don't care. I have to get some lessons on Zentangling. Donna, go to zentanglepatterns.com or tanglepatterns.com. I'm sorry. It's the site of the two people who originated it. And there are so many patterns, and the thing is, they give you step outs. Let me show you. You can do it on the computer. Let me just get my book out real quick and I'll show you. Every design that they have on that site, they give you a step out for each of the designs. And I just made myself a book. Okay, here's a pretty one. But they give you the step outs. Each line you have to draw to create the pattern. And that's what makes it so cool, is anybody can do this. Like, you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to have the confidence of drawing or anything else. They give you the individual step outs for each of the patterns. They're on there alphabetically. When you go to the site, there's a bar with an alphabet across the top. Just click on that and you'll have so many designs. Okay, this is the one that I'm drawing right now, Dragonair. Anybody can do it. You're hoping? I hope you do too. And then if you look at everybody creates designs and puts them up there. They show you actually how they look. Generally, most people will show you how it looks in a piece of art. And they're just interesting little pieces of art. And to me, it's relaxing to do this. You end up with a cool little piece of art, and why not? And if you screw up, you just created a new design. So who cares? Hold it up. Now, I could, in fact, I think I will, go ahead and color in this part of it. Doesn't matter if you do or if you don't. I did one on brown. I like black and white best, but you don't have to do black and white. You can do color if you want. It's entirely up to you. I've done both. For whatever reason, I just like the black and white best. Here's some that I did with color. I just don't like them as well. And where's the brown one? Here's the brown one. I did like the brown one. I did this, I think, on stream with a dip pen one day. And I like the brown okay. But black and white is my favorite. Hi, Lisa. Zentangles are the greatest take-alongs. They are. You can do them anywhere. Yeah, you can do color if you want. Janice Johnson, I think, posted hers on Instagram, and she did a big sheet that she's going to cut up into 2.5 by 3.5 inch ATCs, which I think is a great idea. So, yeah, so I know Janice is doing hers in color. And you get to decide. I mean, I'm just not a huge rule person. I'm just not. So whatever you do, because in my opinion, it's as much just about participating and doing something, you know? So, yeah, just do whatever you want. Another one, and I can't remember the name. I wish I could remember the name of some of these designs. Let me see if it's on my cheat sheet. Probably would be as a border pattern, I'm thinking. Not seeing it. Bummer, dude. Looking. Oh, I'll try and do henna drum too. That's one of my very favorites. Yeah, I don't know. The one I'm going to draw now, I don't know the name of. But it's really, I'll use this. It's just really a leaf shape. No, I'm going to make it light. All right. And this is generally where I'll use like a border pattern. And then work into it. I'll put my email in again because Dee Dee told me to. And you must put the period after the M, or somebody else gets it. One name that is called Flux. Is that what it is? Is this one called Flux? Could be. And I don't know how they come up with the names of these. I really don't. It's crazy. But right now I'm just really drawing the ones that pop into my head is pretty much what I'm doing. In just a while I'll probably run out of designs and I'll have to look some up. Robert's outside the window yakking. I thought he was going to town. Yeah, and you just need my email to get my mailing address. Because if you already have my mailing address, you don't have to email me. If I get your cards, I'll know you're participating. And my address is out there. If you're going to stop by, give me a day's notice. That's all. Alright, somebody go on tanglepatterns.com and pick out a design for me to draw. And I kind of break them out in my mind as random patterns, grid patterns, or border patterns, you know, where that leaf, it would be kind of hard to fill up an entire space. I mean, I could keep just drawing those leaves on top of each other, but they're kind of hard to fill up a whole space with, right? All right, let's pick out a fun pattern. Arc flower's fun. We'll do it over here. Starts out with a circle. I should have gotten out a template, right? Bye, Kim. Go have a great day. Okay, make sure I do this right. Okay, and this one's going to go into the magnifying glass. A lot of it's just drawing the same pattern over and over and over. That's all it is. But to me, there's just something so relaxing about it. You sent me an email? Okay. I send everybody pretty much back the same email with my address and thank you for playing with us. Yeah, it could be a little tidier.
Good morning again, sweet baby.
Did you find what you were looking for?
No.
Bummer, dude.
Looked, I went by and talked to Jan and told her what the deal was. She said, I'm not spending that kind of money on it. I said, I don't blame you, but.
Just put it over there someplace, please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't like my address going on.
I understand. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. After I've just put my email in chat so that people can send me.
Do what?
Different, though. Oh, I just put my email in chat so people could get my address if they're going to participate in the swap.
Okay, here's your deal.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And this one you can go on as far as you want or stop as soon as you want.
Are you talking to me?
Nope, talking to the people in chat. thinking of doing maybe mushrooms or butterflies. When you go on the site, Donna, you'll see people who have done shapes. Those can be very cool too. It's really what you want to do. I'm not going to put a bunch of rules on you guys. Just remember that they're going out to other participants, so, you know. I like that. Yeah, go check out the site. There's some amazingly cool ideas out there. Alright, see, that magnifying glass is pretty much done now. Need to clean it up a little bit. I'll erase the strings because I pretty much ignored them. And then this one is going to be little tiny to shade. But the shading is what really makes it look cool. So when you're looking at the designs on the side or whatever, watch how the people who originated the designs shade them. You'll be much happier with your finished product, I promise you. And I know it's hard to see on camera because I'm working small, but you'll definitely be able to tell in your own work, I promise you. Not making this crud up. Sometimes I do, though. Hold it up so hopefully you can see. See, when the designs start button up next to each other, they get very cool. Very, very cool. Hi, Jane. All right, nobody went and got me a design, so I just have to make this crap up as I go along. You guys are not participating. Let's see. I think right here. Don't know what this one's called either. It's just one I always draw because it's so mindless. I get quiet when I start doing this. I do this a lot too when I'm watching TV because it's just so mindless. And I don't really watch TV. I listen to TV more often than not. Oops, I gotta shade it. Big mouse in the background, you guys. And my guide did, you'll be able to tell where to shade. Like I generally shade always where the designs match. So it looks like one is over the other, or anywhere where a bunch of lines join, that's where it's going to be shaded. Alright, what design is that? This one that I'm drawing right now, let me think. I can't think of it. It's just mindless. And I probably didn't even make a card for it because you don't need one. But it's really just one of the things, when you're drawing the same line again and again and again, they call it auraing. Aura, like A-U-R-A, like an aura around a person. Look up SOCC. That will give you an idea. But yeah, I don't. Let me see. Because it's not really a grid pattern. I guess I should start picking out stuff where I can actually give you the names of them. Because these I'm just literally doing from memory. They're my like fallbacks, my go-tos. Alright, I'll start picking designs where I can actually give you a name. Because I can't tell you the name of that one for sure. It looks really cool when it's drawn. But you don't even need a design for it because it's just auraing the same thing over and over. Hold it up so you can see. So that whole section is done now. I don't know that I'm going to spray these. Dang, after seeing your cards now I'm going to have to read. No, you're not, ARH. Oh, you said Malb? Is that it? Is that the rat? That's the rat. Yeah, he's gone now. He had gone into town. Marisu and Webb look cool. Marisu. Yeah, I just I do them much like the originators of Zentangle imagined, because if you look at, if you start from scratch, they generally tell you to start with a string, I think is what they do, and they generally start in a corner. And start with a string like that, you know, to give yourself spaces to draw in. Mine had one tangle in the middle. There are no rules, though, so that's how I kind of decide what spaces I'm going to be using. And then if they don't work after I get into it, I just move them around. No big deal. I'm not going to make rules. I'm an anti-rule person. All right, I got my book here now, so I'm just going to randomly open to a page and pick out one. Here's a cool pattern. It's called Agni, A-G-N-I. Let's do this one. start with circles and then draw shapes out from it. Let's do that one. We'll do it over here. Okay? Now, if I would normally get out my little circle template to draw the circles, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make myself do it without. So this is the cards that I make. Okay? So you start out with, in fact, I'm going to do this whole area, this design, because I think it's going to look cool. So let me just do my spacing first. I'll erase my lines that are in the background. So I'll give myself some spacing guidelines is all I'm going to do. But I'm not going to use a ruler, Dee Dee, and I won't use my circle template. It might kill me, but I'm going to... But you want yours. Well, the thing is, ARH, just keep working at it. If you don't like it, who cares? It's just paper and ink. That's all it is. And you get to decide on your own designs. You just get to do it yourself. And I want these kind of big, so... Alright, that whole space is going to be one design. And this is more of a grid pattern. So I'll try and keep them evenly spaced, and I'll try and do my circles as best I can. Oh God, this is killing me. I'm the one who always says, if you have a template, use it. Don't try and draw a perfect circle. You're not going to do it, ever. Okay, so I've done that first section of the design. Now I'm going to go in and add the second section. And you can leave the highlight in the black dot or go back and add it later. I'm going to try and leave it. But honestly, I don't think there's any design. There are some designs that are a little bit harder than others, but there isn't a design on that site that every one of you can't draw. I promise you. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, but yeah. Alright, so I did the second square. I don't know why I repeated it there. Don't have a clue, but then I'm on this section right now. Connecting the circles. And you have to continue the design even though it's underneath something or off the page or whatever. You have to go ahead and continue it. But you'll kind of see how it has to go. So just, yeah, you'll figure it out. Because y'all are smart. How many have I made? What have I made, Dee Dee? ATCs, ATC cards? Oh, God. Probably since I started doing it, thousands. Kind of like you in collage. Thousands and thousands. And I've been doing them in the beast since I've been doing the list to put out on IG. I've been drawing every one of those in the beast as well, just to kind of get it in my memory. And I won't do it on this. This one's going to be pretty lightweight. But you could even do another Zentangle in the background of these that have opening backgrounds. It's really just, it's your deal. You get to decide. All right, there we go. Alright, so I just finished that part of it. And this, I think, is a variation. You can do it or you don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and do it just like it's shown. Oh, the binder. Oh my God, the binder. I can't even imagine how many Zentangle patterns are in there. But used to be, I would pick 2 or 3 every evening and make a card. After I found this site, I would pick at least a couple and draw the cards every night. And if you're going to do that, honestly, learn from my mistake. By doing it in sheets like I have, I'll show you the sheet. I've shown it before. I started putting them in baseball sleeves, which I really like. I like the 2.5 by 3.5. But the problem is, if you go back later and add a design to keep it alphabetical, you end up moving these cards a lot. So if I was going to redo this, I think I would use a Rolodex. Oh, you want to see the whole binder. The whole binder. Oh, the binder is big. Okay, I'm going to move my camera back a lot. Dee Dee just texted me saying, would you look at chat? God, you're driving me crazy. All right, this is the binder. And it's like a 3-inch binder now. I've had to expand the binder a lot. And this was, I think, March and some of April's prompts that I did. Yeah, this binder has gotten enormous. It's a 4-inch binder now. Oh, 4-inch binder. That's huge. But it's just full of all the patterns. All the patterns. Look at all of them. There's some awesome ones in here. And then I created just a cheat sheet because I art on the couch a lot. So I made these cheat sheets of just some of the ones I liked, or however many I had at the time that I made these. I could make new cheat sheets. It is in alphabetical order. And then what I really like about it, like, look at the A. because I have nothing better to do with my life. I went ahead and made the letter A and then used Zentangles from the A. And then I try and keep them alphabetical. That has gotten to be a pain in the butt. I'm just telling you. Let me see if Malb is in there. LM should be under MA. And like on ones where I don't need the step out cards, I mean, they're so obvious you don't need the step outs. I just have a card that has these. I don't need the step outs on these. They're so darn easy. So I have some cards like that I don't actually do the step outs. Hey, check it out. You want me to draw Malb? Malb is a fun one. Let me pull it out. And it's right in alphabetical order like it's supposed to be. You want me to draw that one? I'll draw that one. And then there's a big version of it so I can see it in actual practice. It is a fun pattern. If you want me to do that one, I'll do that one next. Awesome. It's a lot of tangling. Well, if you just do a couple a night, it's not really a chore. It's just like if I knew I was going to sit down and watch TV or something, I just grab a couple cards and draw the designs. And it's surprising how quickly you get a pretty darn good collection. I never sat down with the idea that I was going to have a 4-inch binder full of these things. And when I started, I would just pick out the ones I liked, you know, that I thought, oh, that's cool, I'm going to learn to draw that. Or, you know, I didn't set out with the intent of what it has turned into, right? So, but yeah, there's some awesome designs. Awesome. All right, we're going to finish this one first. Okay, so after that, I put 2 things on this one. Now see, I'm going to draw those bigger circles. Dee Dee, I want to get out the template so bad. I so want to get out that template, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make myself just draw it. And sometimes, like the spacing, if it's goofy, you'll end up with something that looks totally different than what you started out with. And that's good too. No big deal. Just go with it. Because when it's all done, it's going to look cool. I promise you. And I think the thing I like best about it is it takes like no supplies. If you've got a pen and some paper, you can do it. So you're not having to buy anything special, just use what you've got. But yeah, it was not my intent to start this project and end up with what I've got. And do you guys ever... I think one of the reasons I like Zentangle is, like, if I'm thinking about something, and I did this a lot when I worked, and I would just doodle, and I doodled in school. And it's kind of like that. When you're doing something repetitive like this, you free up your mind to do its primary job of thinking. Either thinking through a problem, just thinking for the hell of it, you know? And I find that as I'm doing this, not uncommonly, my mind has found something that it's working on, right? Okay, you put your step outs on index cards. Okay, see, there's a million ways to do it. Hey, K-Berg. Okay, so I think I got all the circles. I'm trying to fill in where I don't have actual design. Okay, there would be a circle there, I think. Okay, we're good. Now I'll put the triangles in. And depending on how much space I have available, I think I'm just going to fill them in actually with whatever space is left, since the design has gotten so tiny, just to add some dark in here. So go ahead and change up the designs to suit your needs, because I think the whole idea is relaxation, just doodling for relaxation. That's pretty much how I use it. This one's going to be weird to shade. But yeah, if I was going to do it all over again, which I'm not going to now, I would use a Rolodex or something like that, or put them on a ring so you can add and flip through easier. The binder is pretty cumbersome. I will say that first. And again, there are no rules. Just do whatever makes you happy. All about personal happiness here. Hey, Judy. You found a new craft shop today. It has papers, inks, dyes, canvas bags. Awesome, ARH. Lucky you. That's the one thing. I would never ever move back to a city. Even when I'm dementia, I'm not going back to a city. But yeah, I do miss having art stores available. I really do. I took for granted what a treat that was. And when I lived in Denver and we had Meinigers, I used to go to Meinigers quite a bit. Or the bookstore at Boulder, they had some pretty cool art supplies. But I don't think I ever appreciated it as much as when I moved to a rural area. Yeah. Mailman's still not there? Ugh. I bet you're going crazy waiting for that cool washi. I would be. Alright, because this is so small, the shading is going to be kind of wonk, but it's okay. And if I was really a nice person, I probably, on each of the cards that I'm going to make to give away, I probably should have included the name of the designs that are included. But don't expect that, because it's not going to happen. Just saying, not going to happen. See, I would like this one a lot better if my circles were perfect. Just saying. I'm not going to shade the bigger circles, I don't think. We'll see how it looks when I'm done. Hey, Kathy. Thank you. Speak of just arrived. Okay, it just came. Oh, now I want to see it. Dee Dee, if you want, you could open it and send me pictures. I love me some cool washi. Crazy though, I don't get it out and play with it as often as I should. But I do love washi. And if Dee Dee says it's cool, you know it's going to be way cool. I am so eager to get outside. We're getting a cold snap this week. Lane came down this morning and said they were saying, like, snow mixture. I was like, baloney. We can't have snow mixture. The apple tree is already bloomed. It's too late for that. And the little birds are going to be being born. Okay. Can you guys see that? That is a very busy design. But it looks way cool, so I'm okay with it. A couple of these I forgot to smear out. I can see them when I hold it up. All right. I like that. Another design, and I'm going to do, because somebody in chat asked, we'll do Malb. This is a cool design. I do like this. So we'll do Malb up here where it can actually show. And I'll try and do it as much like this one as I can. Thanks, Judy. Are you going to participate in the swap, Judy? I'm not going to bully you into it, but it would be fun if you did. And of course, as I get the cards, I'll be showing them on stream. So, and that's one thing you don't have an option about. If you send your cards to me, I am going to show them on stream. You're getting the same thing? Yeah, see, it's 70 degrees today and then a wintry mix tomorrow. That's baloney. That's just crazy baloney. Sorry, I forgot to bring my camera back in. Sorry, dudes. Normal weather for Saskatchewan. I love Saskatchewan. Have you ever been up to L'Orange, Jane? We used to go up there a lot in the summer. My dad loved L'Orange. Now I'm going to have to obviously draw this smaller, but this is what I'm going to be going for. And I probably am going to go ahead and fill up this whole space with it. So, oh, and here's the step out card if you want to watch as I'm doing this. That one's smaller, but it won't matter. We used to go to L'Orange a lot. I turn the card. I like to draw toward myself. Yeah, we used to go fishing up there. And I've been to several fly-ins up there. I like it. Oh, I didn't finish this. Goofball. All right. Let me finish this one real quick. I'm trying to think. Oh, Waskesiu. We used to go to Waskesiu. One time when we were in Waskesiu, and it's a provincial park up in northern Saskatchewan. Yeah, you can be out fishing at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, it stays light really, really late. But we were sitting in Waskesiu State or Provincial Park, and there had been a bear in the campground. And it was organized camping, right? You had to get a spot and pay and all that. It wasn't like you were just camped anywhere. And Waskesiu is really a fun little town. It's almost a resort type place. Anyway, there had been a bear around the campground for a few days, and it had been called in, so we were just waiting for Fish and Wildlife to come and trap the bear, because bears are not a good thing in a populated campground. And so my dad had made a rule where we couldn't, like go over to the bathrooms alone or go down to the boat docks alone. Like, you had to always have somebody with you. And the guys had gone fishing. Mom and I stayed at home, and Mom said, "I haven't seen the bear today." And it wasn't 30 seconds later. I looked. I was sitting. Where's junk paper? This was our table in the camper, and there was windows here, 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 and I'm sitting right here. Look out the window, and the bear is looking in this window at me. I'm not kidding. Where's the bear? The bear is right outside the trailer looking in at us. So, yeah. And you know what they catch bears with? In bear traps? Tuna fish. They open cans of tuna fish and put it in there. Thought that was pretty weird. Now to add on to this, just add more little humps wherever you want them. Those are some good memories. But L'Orange, I don't know if it still is, but used to be, to get to L'Orange, you had to drive like 100 miles of dirt road. That was not fun. Well, if you're used to being up there, like, we just went there every summer, so, like, bears were not that big a deal. It's just kind of what you expected. You were just really careful. Like, really, when Dad said, never leave this camper alone, he was serious. Like, you get somebody to go with you. You don't walk out in the woods alone. And yeah, make noise the whole time. Okay, this one's going to be crazy because I'm going to have to draw it really big for the magnifying glass. Alright, so here, these lines would continue really big and curved. I think I'm going to stop it there, and I'll do one of these big so you can tell that it's magnified. Okay, cool. It's still a drive. The roads aren't much better. Yeah, it's been many years. I went up there once after my mother passed and my dad had remarried. I think I'm going to leave that over there for something else. So I'm trying to think when that would have been. I love Canada. One of my very favorite trips that we took was to Vancouver Island. I really love Vancouver Island. And back then, when we were going, it was unorganized. I mean, like on Vancouver Island, there were campgrounds, but you could go out and park on the beach. And one night, I may have told this before, but it was just a really cool thing that happened. We were sitting eating dinner at the table one night, and look out and you could see the spout whales out in the ocean. We dug clams out there. It was so good. But it's beautiful there. Went to Butchart Gardens and rode the ferry. We actually took the ferry from Alaska down to Vancouver Island. It was awesome. And if you want to hear what a butthead kid I was, I honestly felt like because I didn't get to stay home with my friends all summer, I thought my parents were punishing me. I didn't realize that being able to do all those amazing things that my dad, and he had to take off the entire summer for us to do the things that we did. At the time, I just felt like I was being punished. I didn't realize the sacrifices that my parents were making so that we got to go do those amazing things. I really didn't. I mean, that's what an ungrateful wench I was. I mean, I enjoyed them and I liked being with my family, but yeah, I didn't get to go hang out at the mall. I didn't get to go do any of that. My family was just like, nope, you're doing family stuff. And I was like, well, all the other kids get to go hang out at the mall. No, well, I didn't get to. I didn't get to go to parties in high school. I didn't get to do any of that. But now I'm very thankful that my dad was like that. I think it was more dad than mom, because he was the adventurer. Take fly-ins and stuff like that. That was all dad. Okay, there's Malb. That's a very cool design. I like that one a lot. A very lot. Okay, down here, I'm just looking at some point as you're doing this, or when I'm doing it anyway, you had malls? Well, yeah, we had malls in Colorado. Where'd you live? You didn't have malls? Yes, I had malls. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to blow my nose. You traveled across Canada pulling a tent trailer with mom and dad, 2 sisters, a brother, and a dog. Well, Jane, it sounds like you live like I lived, only we did have like a regular trailer. Yeah, we had malls. And you're my age, Dee Dee, so don't even go acting all surprised. We did have malls. They weren't covered, however. And the mall, well, Villa Italia in Denver was, I think, one of the first covered malls. But I lived just half a block from Westland Shopping Center. And it was like 2 rows of stores. But the area between them was like a pedestrian mall, kind of. But it wasn't covered. They covered it later. All right. At some point, while I'm doing this, this is what I was started to say a minute ago. I checked for balance, and actually this one is balanced pretty good. I mean, I don't feel like the weight is too much one side or the other. It might be a little weighty over here. So for this one, I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to draw circles. And I don't know if it's called pebbles. I'll look it up. Oh, I'll put Malb away right while I'm at this page, so I don't have to go back and do that later. I think it's called pebbles. Let me look. I could be just making this crap up too. And I probably don't have a card for it because you don't need a card for pebbles, right? Because it's just a bunch of circles. But I really like it. And I'm going to do the same one on each edge so it's weighted the same. But you draw circles of different sizes. And it's a cool looking design. You had malls. I think Dee Dee's just jacking with me now. Can you focus a little more? Let me see if I can. Because I've been moving the camera. I'm not surprised if it's not. So let me just give it. How's that? I'll leave autofocus on, so if I move it, if it goes wonky again, just holler at me if I'm not looking up. But this is really a good filler pattern of just circles of different sizes. It looks way cool. Thanks for pointing out that I needed to do that, because I'm sitting over here oblivious. So this card's almost done. I'll start a second one. Since I have time. And this one I leave, and I don't shade this one either. I just use it as filler. I lost my chat. And if it starts making that click, 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 is it trying to autofocus? All right, that's probably as good as it's going to get, I'm thinking. Jacking with all the little controls over here because I can. It's going in and out. I might be too close up, but because I'm working small, I'm trying. Having problems? No, I'm not having problems. You're having problems. I'm not having a problem in the world. But pebbles is a good way to balance a section out. I just thought of something. I have no plan for dinner tonight. Today's been such a weird day. Usually by now I have something to eat all planned out, so yeah. See how quick that got done? There's another card done. How you like that? Try moving it up. Well, I don't have autofocus on, so let me turn autofocus on. Alright, that to me made it look like it cleared up. I'll just take a break here real quick. Alright, I left autofocus on. Let's see if it will do its thing. There we go. Oh, now you guys can see really good. I really like that magnified part. I just think it looks way cool. Okay, and here, I want to say to you guys, do not think that because my cards are very intricate like this, whatever, that yours have to be, yeah, see, as soon as I start moving it out, it goes blurry. Come on, focus again. Focus, you freak. Here, focus, you freak. That yours have to be like this. They don't have to. They really don't. Yeah, this focus is annoying as hell right now. When it really focused, yeah, like right there, that's awesome. I love that. Just looking at this real quick. Yeah, I may end up dinking around with this more, but yeah, I could fix the shading on some of it. But yeah, not bad. Alright, one more card done. Yeah, me. Try turning it off while close up. Well, that would take 15 arms, Dee Dee. Let me see if I've got something that I can set the card on. Come on, focus, you freak. Why is it doing that? Or not doing that, as the case may be. There we go. Now turn it off while it's focused. Because right now it's very focused. Turn it off, went to hell in a handbasket. I'm leaving it on. We'll just have to deal with it. Alright, what's all this crap on the floor? My card. Thank you, Joan. Work on it while on the cup. Dee Dee's a regular freaking comedian over there, isn't she? Alright, let me see. The color's a little wonky too. But that works. This camera is way too sensitive. Glad it's not you? Okay. Alright, let me put this card back. We'll start another one. And if you guys have, I know the last time she was saying, draw this one, draw this one. And I was ignoring. What can I say? But if there's anything you want me to draw, just speak up. Let me put this back. A, G, and I. Do I have a page out? I do. Page out of the book missing. Alright. We're going to do the same thing that you've seen me do already. I've got another card here with the border and the circles already drawn because that's my jam this time. Alright, we'll draw the candy cane first. Because that's going to be in all of them. I just like it. I just like the way it looks, so there you go. And if you have any Diva Dance. Let's look up Diva Dance. Diva Dance is good. I like the ones that look like that. I'll pull it out. Here's another design that I really, really like. I think CB turned me on to this one, actually. This is Diva Dance. It's a great pattern for fill, and I like Dillo. All right, now see, that was focused and then it went unfocused. Come on, focus, you freak. See, the problem is there, now it's focused. That's so annoying. And the color is just like whacked, totally whacked. Move the camera down. I'm already like, Dee Dee, I'm like this close already. Because I knew I had to be in pretty tight. I left autofocus on. There's Dillo. But I like this design. I think that one's really pretty. And I like it when it's shaded. Another thing you can do with that is that little teardrop shape, color it black. All right, we'll do some of these. Let's do the candy cane first because it's pretty easy. Close, like you moved it up and focused. You want me to have the camera down that close so you can see the pores in my hand, Dee Dee? All right, we'll just do it like this. And if I get little spaces like that, I'll just alter the design so that I can eventually cover that up. Is that working better? I think so too, Michelle. Okay, you guys are saying this is better? Well, let's get on it. Now you'll notice how imperfect this really is. This could be dangerous for my reputation. But it's surprising when you're doing Zentangle, it can look messy, and then when you end up finishing it, it looks really good. So no worries there. Sorry, I'll end up hitting the camera a lot because it's right at my hand. But I have to say, it's focused really good right now. And when I do the actual swap, you guys, the way I put mine in is I just randomly grab an envelope and put them in. Like, I don't plan who gets what. Okay, on this, I think I am gonna, well, maybe not. I'm going to say I might draw a white line around the magnifying glass so you can see where it is, but Okay, bye, Dee Dee. I'm not going to be on too much longer, actually. I'll do a little bit on this card, and then I'm going to call it a day. Because I've had the most whack day. Getting up late and losing my glasses, and I just felt like everything was just so goofed up mess all day. But I'll get a little bit of this on, and if there's any other designs you guys want to see, speak up now or forever hold your peace. See how I hid that little booger that I screwed up? You can fix a lot of stuff. Just like Dee Dee whacking off that part of the collage this morning. You don't like it? Whack it off. Cover it up. Move on to something bigger and better. This is crazy drawing this close, but it's all good. I'm going to get out a bigger nib to color those. Drives me crazy to use that small nib. I'll just leave the edges so I don't goof up with this big fat boy nib. So next week, I'll have these done before next week. So next week, I probably a watercolor. Or I've had these napkins laying out to glue into the napkin journal too. So I don't know which I'm going to do. But I think next week I'm going to want a watercolor. I'll try and catch up on some of Kathy Arbor's drawings. I don't know if you guys saw the bunny that she did the other day. Oh my god, that was the cutest bunny. So I want to do that one. Only I'm going to do it in watercolor. She did it in acrylics, but I'm going to do it, I think, in watercolor. I'm going to try. But the way she layered those colors to get that little downy fur. No, this is a micron. I use either these or the Copic multi-liner, but for these little cards when I want to line, I just use, this is my favorite pen, Pentel Hybrid Technica in 03. It's kind of mindless. I know exactly what I'm going to get. I started watching a show. Robert's daughter told me about the show. She said, watch Lie to Me. And she has Hulu. I didn't have Hulu, so I'm having to watch it on IMDb, which means I have to watch commercials, which is fine. I'm living through it. But it's about a guy who can tell when you're lying. It's pretty darn interesting. And then they build the stories, of course, around the whole premise of the guy knows when you're lying. Interesting show. All right, now this part, since you guys can see up close, because you got to remember, this is like 2.5 inches across, 3.5 this way. Adding a highlight. And when you go over this wet ink, it's not really wet and it wouldn't smear, but you're going to get some black on your point of your pen, so be sure and wipe it off. To my stomach. This one's going to be weird. I'm going to put the highlight down the center. I'll have to fix where I goofed up there, but that's okay. I can do that. So has anybody watched You Love Lie to Me? Yeah, it's a pretty good show. When Jackie recommended it, I thought, well, if Jackie's recommending it, it's probably pretty good. And I have to say, it has been pretty good. I never think about the signs of what to look for to see if somebody's lying to me, you know? I just pretty much go through life trusting people. Well, I'm probably stupid for doing that. But it gives you good insight into people's psychology and why people lie. But I have to say, I have been enjoying it. I watched it yesterday while I did laundry. Well, I folded laundry. Now this one, it really comes to life when you shade it. Called a strip mall. You're, I think, lagging, Kathy. Found those Pentel ones at a school store a couple years ago. Love them. Haven't found them anywhere else, so I guess I have to order them online. These Pentel Hybrid Technicas. Yeah, order them from Amazon. They're really cheap there. Even though I'm beginning to be not so big an Amazon fan. I think it needs some competition. And since the coronavirus, I'm really paying attention to trying to support my local stores. I really am, because they're hurting so bad. You know, we can't do everything, but we can do our own little part, right? So I'm trying my best, even though Amazon is so dang convenient. And Hunky UPS delivers it right to my door, but I'm trying to be more mindful. It's not always about me, even though I want it to be all about me. All right, see what a difference the shading makes on that? All of the Suits, is that the name of the show, Barbara? Prodigal Son. See, I got to write this stuff down because I'm always looking for something good to watch. So many of the shows, I turn them on, and then after an hour or so, I'm like, okay, I've had enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and do the... I'm just trying to think. Maybe I'll do it this way because it will look good curved, because that one design that I did, and I wish I could think of the name of it. Hunky UPS guy. Yep. Hunky UPS showed up the other day. Robert's son has sent him something in his birthday. And I'm such an egomaniac. I thought, oh, he's just dropping by to see me, because I knew I hadn't ordered anything. Oh, he's just dropping by to see me. Nah, Robert's son sent him a birthday present. I wish I could think of the name of that. Annoys me, annoys me, annoys me. I'm looking real quick to see if I can find it. I can't. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, we're going to do it on this one. It's going to be hard right here under the camera like this, but I'll do it anyway. It's that same one. Draw the loopy loop. Ah, see, I get my hand in the way. And I know it's going in and out as I draw, and then I don't know how to stop that without turning off autofocus. Plus, plus. I did, Dorothy. I sat here for several hours and watched Prince Philip's funeral on, what was it, Saturday, wasn't it? Saturday morning? Yeah, I sat here and watched it on the BBC. I have never made any I don't know the word, but I've never ever been bashful about saying that I totally love the Royals. Oh, the UPS plus plus. Yeah, I love the Royals. I just, my heart was breaking for the Queen. Can you imagine being with somebody 70 plus years, and then because he'd been in the hospital, I'm sure his death didn't come as a surprise. I mean, by the time you're that age, I think anytime you end up in the hospital for any length of time, the chances of you bouncing back and recovering is almost nil, in my opinion. But I am a huge fan of the Royals. I love William and Kate. I've not always been a fan of Charles. I think he was a remarkable man, Dorothy, and I think one thing that people don't give him credit for is how he stood behind the Queen and had to walk 10 steps behind her or whatever, but be by her side through all she went through. I find that remarkable in a man. Yeah, it is always still a shock. I was telling Dee Dee on the phone earlier that in this last week, I've lost 3 people. My brother's best friend, my husband, my deceased husband's best friend, and Robert's best friend. And 2 of them were not unexpected, but it still hurts when you get the call, you know. It hurts. But yeah, I think he was a remarkable man. I admire him. And I think life is going to be really hard for the Queen for a while, you know? it's hard to lose your left hand, or because he was such a stalwart in her life. I think life is going to be very, very difficult for her. And what's she, 95? Isn't she like in her 90s? I'm going to do a design called Groovy. Groovy, after my brother. I'm just going to fill this down here with it. Yeah. And of course, I love the pomp and circumstance. I don't have to pay for it, so I love it. I'm not sure if I was a taxpayer in England. I think I would still be cool with it. I almost used the totally wrong pen. I'm not sure if I was a taxpayer and paying for all of it, I'd be such a big fan. But I love all the pomp and circumstance. Yeah, this one's called Groovy. I don't pay mind. Oh, you don't mind paying for the pomp. It's one thing we stewed. It is, Dorothy. I will give that to the UK. They do it well. We wouldn't do it that well, I'm pretty sure, because when it comes to stuff like that, we probably suck. This is a really simple design. Part of the reason I love it, but I really love it when it's shaded. So and I don't know if the people in the UK begrudge the royals what it costs them. I don't know if I would or not. Honestly, I don't know. But I know as an American just eavesdropping and watching, I think it's awesome. And if I had my way, I would be a princess. And I would have a crown, and I would have people waiting on me, and I wouldn't feel a bit bad about it. I would go through life feeling like I'm totally deserving, which I am, don't you know? But yeah, I did enjoy the funeral. I will say that. I definitely enjoyed it. One touch I loved was his carriage and the ponies just standing there so good. Yeah, well, that I'm sure that didn't happen by accident, Dorothy, you know. And another thing I really like about the Queen, now that I'm thinking about the Queen, because I'm such a fan, I love that she loves her dogs. I like to think about the dogs just running around in the palace doing whatever they want. I like that. Yeah, about being a princess. I think I'm deserving, Dorothy. I think I'm deserving. I'm not sure everybody would agree with that. Thank God Robert does, or we would have serious problems in this household. Another thing, as crazy as it sounds, I love a British accent. I just absolutely love a British accent. So like watching the BBC, that's just like a total treat for me. Listening to their accents. Yeah. See, it's such a simple design, but then when you shade it up, it looks really cool. See, doesn't that look cool after it's all shaded? I don't have a problem going through life feeling deserving, Jane. Because I'm not a taker. I mean, I'm not always a taker. I truly believe life is give and take, and I like to think that I give as much as I take. You'd have to ask the rat if I succeed at that. Okay, so I can't remember who said it, but somebody said they like diva dance, which it's such a simple thing. But then when it's done, it looks really cool in a space. So where do we want diva dance? Because I didn't draw my normal strings, so I'm trying to decide where this would go really good. And it's going to end up being probably about as heavy as this over here. So maybe I'll put it, I think I'll fill up this whole quarter of the card with that. How about that? Do I do it? Depending on which nib size you choose is going to impact too how heavy it is, right? When you came to the U.S. to give lectures, people often used to make me speak to them because they like the accent. The accent is very endearing, I will say that. And I think that's also why I like British television shows. I watch them a lot because I just love the accent. Of course, and then you guys say we have an accent. I don't know if we do or not. Okay, the nice thing about this design is your lines don't have to be straight. In fact, the less straight they are, the better off you are, I think. And they can touch. So yeah, it's a very simple design. Now you can't, this one doesn't have really great shading. And I think a lot of times I choose my designs based on the shading. What parts of the U.S. were you in, Dorothy? All over? I want to know what areas you were in to see if you got a good taste of America or if you went to caca places. I don't know what caca places I would name, but yeah. I love the look of DVD. It never turns out well when you do it. Really, Tambit? Yeah, I like the look of Diva Dance too. Well, I think one thing is you have to add enough of the dark. Like I try and do every other line has a dark section. So you try and balance it out. That's the thing I would think is what's important on Diva Dance, is that you add enough dark. And evenly spaced out throughout the design itself, right? Down here it's going to be harder. But yeah, like this one, there is no mistakes. You can't goof this one up. And if you go back, like see over here how I didn't add black over here? I'll just go back in and add one. Just go back in and alter it. All around the edges. San Diego, Chicago, Dallas, Hilton Head Island, North Carolina. Okay, so you pretty much got coast to coast. There's some beautiful parts of America, that's for darn sure. I've been in, I don't know, I should sit down and count, but I've been in an awful lot of the states. The only ones I haven't been in are the Northeast. I've never been up in Maine or, yeah. Just never had any reason to go up there. I would love, however, to go up there. I'd like to do the, of course, I'm not going to walk it now, but there was a time I would have loved to walk the Appalachian Trail, but I don't know, it's hard for me to say what the most beautiful part of America is. There's some absolutely beautiful places. No, I don't know what I would recommend. The Grand Canyon for sure, I would recommend that. Because that's just such a miraculous thing that Mother Earth has provided to us. There. And I guess if I was going to shade this at all, I would shade along the edge of each of the blacks. And just use a little bit, whatever graphite's left on the Tortillion. I wouldn't go in and shade that, but I'd just pick a side and just give it some extra depth. Like that. New York and Washington. Now those two cities, in my opinion, are the crappiest parts. This one that I just did, Kathy, is called Diva Dance. And it's very cool looking. But as far as I'm concerned, Washington and New York get a lot of press, obviously, because it's our power centers, and New York is the largest city in the country, most populated. But of all the places I visited, those are not the two places I would recommend anybody go to. Washington, D.C., I was so disappointed when I went. And I hate saying that, but other than the monuments and just the old architecture, it was filthy. The homeless people were out of control. The Smithsonian and the art, undoubtedly, most gorgeous places. And the new Indian Museum was awesome. But in all honesty, those are the last two places I would recommend a visitor go to. Just saying. Are you doing the swap, Kathy? Since somebody else already asked. Another, of course, it uses up so much space. Yeah, let's do Dillo over here at least. I don't know. I'm just, I've got to do the magnifying part. The Rocky Mountains, I think, are gorgeous, but the Rocky Mountains in Canada are absolutely breathtaking. Jasper, Banff, up in there. That part of Canada is absolutely breathtaking. Their Rocky Mountains are amazing, but ours are too. I don't know. Just love where you are. I would tell everybody, don't come to Monkey Island. Only because I don't want to share it. That one didn't come out as impressive magnified, but that's okay. They're due January 1st, Kathy, at my address. And I'm pretty sure you have my address, but if you don't, email me. I'll put my email in again real quick. And you have to put the period after the M. You want to visit the Pleasant Valley Park, a place from your scavenger hunt map? You don't want to visit the murder scene, Lena? What the heck? What's the reason to go to D.C.? Just to see the old the monuments and all that? But I have to say, the Smithsonian stuff, but I have to say, I was very disappointed in our capital. Other than the buildings, they were impressive, but yeah, I don't know. I know one that I want to do. I don't know the name of it. Let me see if I can find it. And this one seems to be a good fit for this, if I can find it, I'm not sure if I would put that on random or... let me just look real quick. Another one that looks an awful lot like Diva Dance is one called VIA. VIA. You just draw the spacing a little bit different. I need to do one with a grid pattern. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Shatluck. SHATLUCK. Amazed at people who come here to New York to sightsee. You'd come here for the theater and the museums. You know, it was funny because Dee Dee was sending me pictures of Denise in New York this weekend, and I've only been to New York City one time. And I was there for work. I was working in New Jersey, but I did go into New York City just to drive around and see it one time. I have to say that the things you saw on TV, I was shocked. Like Rockefeller Center was the one that really stuck in my head. I always thought Rockefeller Center was just like this huge place. It's not. It's really small. And the Empire State Building, you think is this just enormous, amazing thing, and it was an amazing thing. But, yeah, it was just like I expected everything to be so big and so whatever, and it was just like it wasn't. Radio City Music Hall, it was just a sign on the street. But St. Patrick's Cathedral, I have to say, that took my breath away. That was the most gorgeous place I think I'd ever been. It was so beautiful. All right, I'm going to divide this up into 2 spaces. Yeah, the one I'm going to draw is Shatluck. And I'm going to do it this way. And my lines probably aren't going to be straight, but that's okay. You guys will get the idea. And when it's shaded and drawn, you won't know the difference anyway. I hope. Just because I'm trying to be good and not use my ruler, so Dee Dee can't make fun of me. And the rest of you too. Alright. Start out with just some divider lines. Yeah, St. Patrick's. I thought that was gorgeous. It kind of, that surprised me. But it surprised me in a good way, not a bad way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use this little bit thicker nib for this too. I'm going to ignore the magnifying part. All right, I'm looking to make sure that I'm not goofing up here. Okay. So many of these are so easy, you guys. That's why you should just try them. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do it now. All right, that would be going like that. This one's kind of heavyweight to be next to that one, which is so light, but hopefully it'll look good. You have to go into Radio City to see it, the inside. Okay, see, I did not go inside. I was surprised. Okay, that one's going to go like this, so this one needs to go like this. Yeah, it was just a sign on the sidewalk, and then there was so many people. I'm trying to think if it was a work day when I was there. It probably was. What am I doing? Yeah, because it was just like there was so many people. But the thing that really shocked me after having been born out west and lived in the West my whole life, parking in New York City, $25 an hour. What? I could park for a whole month for $40. So that was a crazy thing about New York. But yeah, I didn't get to go to any shows or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure now I won't ever get back there. And I'm not sure that I have a whole lot of desire, honestly. I think if I was going to travel now, I'd get a Class C RV and go to the beach. Seth After must be living large. Of course, at the rate people are moving out, you might be able to buy places in New York City for not very much money. With the government and the taxes like they are, from what I read, people are leaving there like crazy. I think you have to be a special kind of person to live in New York. Having lived out west where there's tons and tons of space, I can't even imagine living in those kind of crowded conditions. Because I've always lived in, standalone houses with neighbors next door, but like the house I grew up in probably had at least a half an acre around it, and it was in a suburb. Now I live out here and I'm sitting on an acre and a third. So even though I have neighbors, they're not really right on top of me. I just don't think I could live like that. But I suppose if that's what you're used to, no big deal. But I like having a yard. I like, I don't know. I guess you get spoiled. You like what you like. That's a lot of parking allowance. The Chrysler Building is best seen with the sun on it. Yeah, see, I'm sure there's just so many things that, you know, a drive-through or whatever, you don't ever get full appreciation. And of course, I've seen a lot of it in pictures and probably the best possible conditions, you know. I don't know. I'm sure every place has it's good and it's bad, you know. It's just what you like. I think everybody should be able to live where they're happy. But I think people in the West and people in big cities are definitely made out of different cloths. All right. I like that. You live in a standalone 2-story, 3-bedroom house in New York City. Okay. Yeah, see, I haven't watched any of Seth's videos from his walks in New York City. And when I went there, I did have somebody who had lived in the city with me. So it was just like, we're going to go here, 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 because these are the places you've heard about. This is what you'd like to see, you know. So, I mean, I at least did have a good, I don't know, tour guide, if nothing else. We don't all live in tall buildings. See, Kathleen, that's a crazy stereotype that we have. Here's another design that I just looked up. It's called ticking. I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to do it with a small nib. But I'm going to give myself just some guidelines where I want the ticking to be. I wonder how many of those crazy stereotypes we all have, Kathleen, that you would put to rest in about a half a second, you know? Because you have to remember, unless you've been there or know somebody from there, you know, my impression is totally based on what I see and hear on TV. And then, let's see, I can think of 2 people who lived in New York at one time, but left there and came out west where there's a lot of space. And I think shopping there would be so weird. See, Kathleen, I need to talk to you because think of the Archie Bunker house. Okay, yeah, I get it. But like here, I live on a lake, and it's out in the middle of nowhere, and the closest place I have to buy groceries would be a Dollar General, which they just put in a couple years ago, that's 4 miles from me. But if I want to go to a real grocery store, I have to drive minimum probably 17 miles into town. Like, I have to drive far for everything. If I want to go into a place where, like for a big box store, I'm driving minimum 50 miles. I can drive 50 miles one way or 80 miles another way to get those kind of stores. A bookstore, a Best Buy, a Sam's, a decent-sized grocery store. Of course, we're less than an hour from Walmart headquarters, so all of the little towns around here do have Walmarts, but since I'm not shopping at Walmart, anymore. Yeah, I'm driving quite a bit of distance. There is no such thing as delivery of anything out here. I get delivery of nothing other than UPS, which brings my Amazon orders, but I can't get grocery delivery or anything like that. When I very first moved here, I had lived in Boulder, Colorado, and my grocery store was a mile away, and it had selection. But I remember one time I went in to get groceries and I wanted some sausage, Italian sausage. I couldn't imagine that you couldn't get Italian sausage anywhere, right? I ended up having to drive into Tulsa to get it, 80 miles. I think that's when my eyes were totally opened up about what I had done. Because even at the grocery store, you get no selection. Like, if you want ketchup, there's Del Monte and store brand. Take it or leave it. That's what you get. But then in New York, do you guys have great big grocery stores, or do you do it all in small neighborhood grocery stores? See, that's something I don't know. I would think shopping would be difficult for you guys. Unless you want to go to Saks Fifth Avenue or FAO Schwartz or whatever that store is called. You know what I'm saying? I think we all have crazy ideas about where each other lives. You shop on foot every day. Oh, wow. You would go nuts in a week there. I'm sure you would, Kathleen, because it is such a different, quiet way of life. When I go shopping, I shop for like a month. So I don't have to go out again for a while. You know, or make that drive. I couldn't imagine going shopping every day for what you need. Isn't it crazy? You shop on foot every day. Wow. Yeah, that would not go well in my life. This one, it looks so plain, and it is, but when you get this shading on it, it looks way cool. And I don't miss shopping. Like going out among people every day, I don't miss that. And I usually send Robert in to get fresh produce once a week or something. I can go to a big supermarket or to a small store. Okay, I do this to keep fit. You have to walk every day. Okay. Tonight you'll make dinner with what you bought. So you don't have like a pantry, big storage? See, I have to have a big old pantry and a freezer. We did get, now I have to say, there's a new meat market here on the island, and they sell some specialty stuff, which is really, really good. I appreciate having that. Of course, it closes in the winter, so you only have it during the summer. So I don't know. This is crazy. It's crazy. Can you guys see that, how the shading? And I may have gotten it too dark in the middle, so I'm going to go right down the center. And I don't necessarily think one way of living is better than the other. I think it's just preference. Like living out here, you probably would go goofy, Kathleen. And the hubbub in the city would probably make me goofy. Yep, I like that one. All right. I got time for one more, and then I'm going to call it a day. I make myself walk every day. I spent 3-year housebound taking care of my mother, so I appreciate getting out. Now, I did that with my husband, Kathleen, and I definitely prefer the freedom and getting out and doing things. But yeah, I did that with my husband too. But I could take him out with me. But yeah, not having that freedom to go do what you want when you want, yeah, that's it's a different way to live for sure. Okay, this one, I'm looking at it. It's called Palrevo. I think I'll do that one. It's a grid design, and I'm going to break this space up into two. Two spaces. So I think I will just use this for the grid. Actually, if I had my preferred lifestyle, I would have a cook and a cleaning lady. And I'd never go anywhere. That would be my preferred lifestyle. But I'd still have the freedom to go do whatever I wanted. But the cooking, yeah, I'm over the cooking. I do it because we can't starve and there's no place to eat around here. But if I had my way, yeah, somebody else would cook for me. Just can't afford it. And then somebody would have to live with me. And I don't want anybody living with me. You're in Queens, no hubbub. Okay, now see, I'm not that familiar. I know there's 5 boroughs, but I don't know how close or far away anything is. Amazon will deliver groceries here. Yeah, we can't get grocery delivery out here. It's just too far. You'd leave the maid home and you'd go out. People are funny creatures, aren't they? Alright. I should have done that with ink. Duh. Alright, well, I'll just go over the lines, even though I may not get them straight. A lot of the Zentangle patterns are grid, and I do like the grid. I have to say, I am a fan of the grid. And I think I do have a card for this one. I don't need it. It's just kind of random. Let me pull it out real quick. MNOP. Pretty sure I do. Well, I'm a big fat liar. I don't. Unless it's completely out of... Yeah, apparently I don't, so, oh well. Here it is. It is out of order. So this is the one I'm going to draw now. And these are probably not going to be all uniform, and it doesn't matter to me if they're not. Because when it gets filled in and shaded, nobody will ever notice. Hang on just a second, I'll check chat. Now, one thing I would like about living in a big city, or, you know, say New York or something like that, I would like having the option of restaurants. I would like that, because out here, I mean, our choices are either fast food or hang on, I lost track. Or little mom and pop, but it's going to be all American food or Mexican food, or, you know, like, we don't have any, I would say, standout restaurants, for sure. So, there's that. Okay, so this one would be here. I did like the restaurants in Denver. Being able to, you know, just go out and eat a nice meal. But when you don't do that, you save a ton of money. I will say that. There were some really good restaurants in Denver. I wish I hadn't started thinking about them. Dang, now my stomach's growling. There was the best, up by the Coors Brewery. There was a restaurant called Greenbrier. I think that's what it was called. I ate there a lot, so I should remember. And they had, honest to God, the best veal piccata on the planet, and the best spinach salad with hot bacon dressing. Oh, man. Now, getting that something like that in Oklahoma, yeah, get over yourself. That is never happening. You're not getting that. There used to be a restaurant in Tulsa called the French Hen, and you could get some pretty decent French food there, but yeah. Otherwise, there's not a decent restaurant, in my opinion, in Oklahoma. Just saying. I do love a good steakhouse, though. See, I'm talking about food. I always end up talking about food. You bought street-style Mexican food? Now, see, that's another thing, Judy. I would never, ever get that here. Just wouldn't. Now, after you draw the boxes, let me see if that one's like that. What would be the one above it? Okay, it would be like... And see, I like Mexican food, but when it's your only choice, I would rather have, like, the choice of maybe a Mexican or a French restaurant, or... But yeah, all you're going to get around here is burgers. Yeah, fried chicken. Now, I love fried chicken. I would eat fried chicken about every day, but... Same thing everywhere you go, is my point. Take it or leave it. And see, since you guys are watching so close up, don't think that my lines are perfect, because they're not. We don't have much at all where you live. You're pretty rural. So yeah, see, I think urban areas, when it comes to that, definitely have better options. So I guess everything in life is a trade-off, right? I'm going with my nice secluded life. All right, does anybody have any questions about the swap? I will get to the emails this afternoon or evening. So if you've emailed me, I will make sure that I check your emails before I go to bed for sure. And you'll get one back from me that has the my address on it. And just don't forget your self-addressed stamped envelope. How about that? I know, right, Carla? Yep. Spinach salad with the warm bacon dressing, and I know, I wish I'd just shut up and not said anything about that. Most delicious food. And the veal piccata. Oh, God, it was so good. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, I think they just randomly colored in some of the lines on here, so that's pretty much what I'm doing. Just randomly picking areas to color. And if I have really goofed up, like that line, how goofy that is, I'll go ahead and fix that and just color it in. So a lot of this is going to be determined by how much do I need to cover up for real. And honestly, it's a good thing I'm not a big foodie either, or I would have already gone crazy living out here. Like the thing people say, we do have it's like a barbecue place not too far away, 4 miles. And the thing everybody talks about is, oh man, they have the best sliders. It's like, are you kidding? That's your big deal? Little baby burgers? Jesus. I mean, they're okay, but they're not anything I'd write home about for dang sure. But to each their own. Alright. There we go. Now, this one really, really pops when you shade it, and then I'm going to call it a day. You're going to email to join the swap? Yay, Judy! You're going to love it. You're going to love it, love it, love it. And it's pretty obvious where to shade this one, where the lines meet each other is kind of where you're going to want to shade. So pretty simple stuff. Yay, Judy. I hope Kathy Burke joins in too. It shouldn't be that big a drain. I mean, like, I got 2 done today in 3 hours. And I'm doing mine pretty intricate. So, yeah, they don't have to be like this. And the whole thing is, just make it fun. It just should be fun. That's why I even do this stuff, is to make it fun. If it's not fun, don't bother. But hopefully you'll get some fun art back. And if you watched last week's stream, you can make yourself a very cool holder to store them in. Like, let me show you. I'll show you mine. If I probably crushed it with this big notebook. Where did I put it? Lost it. Okay, so if you want, I'm going to pull the camera out now because I'm going to finish that off screen. I've been on about 3 hours now. But last week I showed how to make the holder. So when you get your totally cool ATCs, you can just slide them in there like this and have an awesome little book of other people's art. You like that? I like that. So last week's stream I showed how to make this little matchbook cover. And I got to get this one out so I finish it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I knew Janice is going to do it. I saw hers. She's going to do color. Prismacolors are down low on Amazon. $68 for the 150 count, Joe. It is a Zentangle swap, Carla. You should play with us. You did watch last week, Judy? Hi, Dawn. I'm glad you got here right at the end to say at least hello and goodbye. Yeah, I wish I had painted the inside of this, but I will. I'll just be really careful. I'll paint this black so that you can't see the design showing through. I actually have to do that because it goofed up when I sprayed it with the sealer. The black bled. So it's just like, dang, now I have to fix it. And then I'm going to have to, this is catching on the, washi tape. So, you're going to try the holder? Cool. I'm going to put some tape there. I can always take it off if I don't like it, but my thing is catching on the washi. So, I'm going to jack with the book. I hope the one I sent, I can't remember who won it now. Give me a minute and I'll think of it. But I did give one away last week. And I did get that in the mail, by the way. I got it in the mail like Wednesday or something. No, Thursday. It was after Jackie left. No, maybe it was Friday. Because I had an appointment on Thursday. Let me think about this. Anyway, whoever won it should be getting it very soon because it was the latter part of last week. But I had an appointment, so I went to the post office the same day. There we go. God, that was so hard. Now, this should slide right in. Look at that. Just like I designed it. Ugh. Yeah, so you can make yourself the holder and have a place to keep your cool Zentangle. Now, if you could make, you can make this as big as you want, actually. So if you were just going to have a small selection of Zentangle designs, you could actually make one of these matchbook covers. To hold your favorite designs in or something, too. I need a sharp X-Acto blade is what I need. There we go. There. Solved my closing problem. Coolio. All right, now it's going to work just like magic. Thanks, Carla. I appreciate you guys coming so much. All right. Go have a great afternoon. Be grateful every day. Well, Joe, come and chat with us. Okay, bye, Peggy. Peggy, are you joining us? You have to have the Zentangle in by June 1st. So you've got, 6 weeks about to get it done. to only do 6 cards. You don't have to be great at Zentangle. You just got to try. We're all going to appreciate your work. Nobody is going to judge you harshly, I promise you. Nobody in the fib community is going to do that. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. And yeah, I'll catch you next week. Later, Gators.